Hello everybody, welcome to One-Off Wednesday. Last Wednesday, the One-Off Wednesday game was replay baseball. Today it's going to be APBA, and I'm playing the game from May the 7th, 1978. San Francisco Giants visiting Wrigley Field to play the Cubs. It's going to be Vita Blue against Ray Burris is the pitching matchup. And there you see Blue and Burris. Burris is a grade D pitcher. Blue is a grade B pitcher. And he has the Y and Z modifiers. Burris has no modifiers. These are in the master symbols, but for simplicity's sake, in this game, I am going to be playing basic. Because when I look at the post and everything, most people that play APBA seem to play the basic. So I'll try to stick to that. Haven't played APBA in a while, so I'm not really comfortable necessarily with the Merino boards. I'd probably have to play a practice game if I wanted to use that, and master symbol or master game, I'd really have to play some practice games to get those in. So we're going to keep it simple and play basic. I do have an APBA score sheet right here for both teams. San Francisco, total fielding is a 35, so they are number 3. They're going to be fielding column 3. The Cubs fielding is 38. They are fielding column number 2. All right, like I said, this was from May the 7th, 1978. First time doing an APBA game with the setup I've been using lately, so bear with me while I figure out the best way to do this. I'm going to go ahead and put the pitcher right here that's involved, even though that's his batting card pretty much. All you need to know is he's a grade D pitcher. Still like to have him there just so you know who's pitching. And at the plate is going to be the Mad Dog, Bill Madlock. He is the second baseman, and he is the leadoff hitter. Of course, you have APBA, you have to have the shaker, right? That's kind of the thing, you know. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with that. All right. Make sure everything shows up in the camera okay. I think it does. We'll put, when Vita Blue is not pitching, we'll flip his card over. And I think everything is pretty much copacetic as best as I can get it. Of course, in the late 70s, the Giants' road uniforms were not gray. They wore the orange jerseys when they were on the road. So tried to show that with the lineups and whatnot. There you see the starting lineups, the benches for both teams, and the bullpens. So Bill Madlock will lead things off here on this one-off Wednesday. APBA Basic against Ray Burris. And we're off. 24 for Madlock. 24 is a 31. 31 in fielding column 3 is a fly out to center field. And there's one away. So Bill Madlock is retired. That's going to bring up left fielder Terry Whitfield. 31, that's a 9. And a 9 on a grade D pitcher. A 9 is a single over shortstop. So Terry Whitfield gets himself a one-out single. That's where a better pitcher would have stopped that. But not this case. So Whitfield is aboard. He is at first. And in the book, we have to move from bases empty to runner on first. And I do have tabs for the books. For the basic book, I do have these things tabbed. So I'm in a good spot where I need to be with runner on first. And that brings up, they call him Howdy Doody for some reason. I guess they thought he looked like Howdy Doody. I don't know. Here's Darrell Evans, 25, and that's a 9 again. Runner on first, a D. Says single, beats out infield hit, runner to second. So it's an infield hit for Darrell Evans. You don't think of him necessarily as being a fast runner, but he beats out an infield hit. Anything, if a pitcher had been A, B, or C, actually if it had been a C, he would have gotten him out, but not a D. So we're up to first and second now with one out. And that'll bring up stretch. Willie McCovey runs at first and second, one out. Giants threatening early. Here's stretch. 62, that's a 13, struck him out. So a big strikeout there for Ray Burris of Willie McCovey, but he's not out of the woods yet because we have a very young Jack Clark. And he's got some pop, 25 home runs. 31, though, is a 9. That's going to probably be another hit. It is a single. It says beats out an infield hit to load the bases. So how about that? Bases are now loaded with 2 outs. And that's going to send us to Larry Herndon. Larry Herndon, the center fielder, is up. Bases full of Giants for Larry Herndon. Bases loaded. 31. Again, another 9. I keep rolling these results that come up as a 9. I don't know why. It's just the way the shaker's doing it. So we go to the bases loaded chart in fielding column 3. Pitcher D with a 9. Single over first. Runner advances 1 base. With 2 outs, runner advances 2 bases. Well, there are 2 outs, so the runners will advance 2 bases. That is a 2-run single. 2-run single from Larry Herndon. And the Giants grab a 2-0 lead. And runners are still on the corners. But it is 2-0 now. Favor the Giants here in the top of the first. Ray Burris was not a very good pitcher. He had a 7-13 record with a 4.75 ERA. So and especially playing in Wrigley Field, he's going to get knocked around a bit. So Herndon with the big base hit, and that brings up the catcher Mark Hill. 7th man to bat in the inning. Bases, or runner at first and third, rather. As Clark sits at third with Herndon at first. And Mark Hill the batter. 33, that's bad news. That's a 7. 7 is a single to left. One runner scores, the other goes to second. So Herndon will go to second. Clark will come in to score. Mark Hill with a base hit. It is now 3-0 Giants here in the top of the first. Here at Wrigley Field, where runs can be aplenty, although in this basic game, the ballpark effects are not included. It's the Ray Burris effect, I guess, of being ineffective. So first and second, still 2 outs. That elusive third out is giving problems to Mr. Ray Burris. He's trying to get that elusive third out. And he's going to face the shortstop, number 8 hitter, Johnny LeMaster. 65, that's a 35. 35 is a foul out to the catcher unless the pitcher has a W, which he does not. So he's going to foul it out to the catcher Cox, and that's going to end the inning. But 3 runs for the Giants here in the first inning, top of the first inning. It is San Francisco 3 and the Cubs coming to bat. Wow. Vida Blue is on the mound. He is a B grade pitcher with a Y and a Z. And leading things off for the Cubbies will be Mr. Ivan DeJesus. And now we need to flip to the bases empty chart for defensive column number 2, which is what actually defensive column number 3, because that's what the Giants are. They're number 3. All right. DeJesus will lead off against Vida Blue. 46. It's 27. And fielding column number 3 at 27. It says out at first, 5-3 put out. Unless the pitcher has an X. He does not have the X. So it's just going to be a ground out to third. 1 down. And DeJesus is retired. It's going to bring up Manny Trio. 45, and that's a 14. And a 14 is a base on balls unless he has double Z. He only has 1 Z, so Manny Trio will draw a 1-out walk. And we'll go to runner at first on the chart. In the book, runner on first base for Billy Buckner. 41 for Buckner, that's a 24. Fielding column 3, 24. It's a double play, 6-4-3. So even though they were fielding column 3, they still turned the double play. 6-4-3 grounder. And Cubs made quick work of. Here in the bottom of the first, they could not respond to the Giants. And after 1 complete, it is San Francisco holding a 3-0 lead on the Cubbies. Vida Blue now is actually going to lead off the inning as the hitter against Ray Burris. Here in the top of the second. Back to bases empty chart. Fielding column number 2 for the Cubs. And for some reason they have Space Cadet here for Vida Blue. I don't know why that is, but Somebody wanted to call him a Space Cadet. 44 for the Space Cadet. That's a 23. Fielding column 2, 23. That's an error on the center fielder. I'm sorry, not 23, 22. Let's see. 44 is a 20. Oh, it is a 23. Okay, so it is an error. Error on the center fielder. So Vita Blue will reach on the center fielder, Cruz. He makes an error. An error on Cruz. And Vita Blue is aboard. He is at first base with nobody out. And that's going to bring up the Mad Dog, Bill Madlock. 25, and that's an 8. He's a D-grade pitcher. An 8 is a single. Runner on second. Runner to second. If there's 2 outs, he go to third, but Blue will just have to hold at second base. So another base hit here for the Giants as Madlock gets his first hit of the game, coming in the second inning. 2 on, nobody out for Terry Whitfield, left fielder. That's a 25, which is an 8, and that's trouble again for a D pitcher. The big complaint sometimes is that the pitchers don't have enough effect in APBA, but boy, the D pitcher is really hurting Ray Burris here. 25 for Whitfield was an 8. So an 8 says single over short, 1 scores, other to second. So Vita Blue will come in to score. Madlock will stop at second as Terry Whitfield gets a base hit. It's now 4-0 Giants. Unearned run there. And Ray Burris may need some relief here very shortly. He's just not getting it done. First and second still for Darrell Evans. 65 is a 35, fielding column number 2. 35 says it's going to be a pop out to the catcher. So he pops it straight up, and Mr. Cox makes the catch for out number 1. 1 down, and that brings up stretch, Willie McCovey. 63 is a 32, fielding column 2. 32 says, fly out, runners hold, fast run on second goes to third. Madlock is fast, according to his rating, so he will take third base on that fly to center field for out number 2. But Madlock does get to third base. So now we move to runners on the corners. And coming up for the Giants is Jack Clark. See if he can do more damage. Walked and scored his first time. 54, that's a 32, and that may get out of the inning. 32 is just a fly out to right to end the inning. Giants get a run. It's unearned. And they lead it 4-0 over the Cubs. And the fans here at Wrigley not exactly enjoying themselves at the moment. Vita Blue enjoying that 4-0 lead. And it's going to be King Kong, Dave Kingman. He will lead things off for the Cubbies. It'll be Kingman, Mercer, and Ontiveros. Kingman, Mercer, and Ontiveros for the Cubbies. Whoops. For the Cubbies. Boy, this big book here to my left and trying to do a video is not working out too well. It is a work in progress. My little base running guys are flying all over the place. All right, let's get back to bases empty. That's one of the downfalls of APBA to a lot of people, is having to keep flipping the book all over the place. Even though it's tabbed, you still got to mess around with doing that. All right, here's Kingman. But every game has its pluses and minuses. So now we're back at fielding column number 3 for the Giants. Kingman, 33, that's a 4. A 4 to a B-grade pitcher. B-grade pitcher and a 4 is a double over third base. So Dave Kingman, a leadoff double for Mr. King Kong Kingman. He gets himself a leadoff double. And maybe the Cubs can get something going. Runner at second base now. And that brings up Bobby Mercer. 31, that's a 9. He's a B-grade pitcher with a runner on second base. B-grade and a 9. Single over second, runner scores. Slow is out at home. Kingman is not listed as slow. He's neutral, so he will score. So a single and a runner scores, so Kingman will score on the base hit by Bobby Mercer, and back come the Cubs. They've cut the lead now to 4-1. Now we go back to runner at first. And due up for the Cubs is Steve Ontiveros, switch hitter. 42, that's a 13, he's going to strike out. One down. I say switch hitter even though in the basic game it's irrelevant, but that's just out of habit. All right, here is Hector Cruz. 25 is a 9, a B-grade pitcher with a runner on first. B-grade pitcher, runner on first, and a 9. Single beats out infield hit. So Cruz gets the infield hit. Runners are now at first and second. And that'll bring up the catcher, Mr. Cox, Larry Cox. 66 is a 0. First time we're going to a second column result. 65, and that's an 8 for Cox against a B-grade pitcher with runners at first and second, and 8 is an out. But I'm pretty sure it's an automatic hit. Whenever you go to column 2, it usually is almost always an automatic hit, but this is saying it's not. It's an 8. So on an 8, it says on a B-grade pitcher, out at first, runners advance. So it's going to be an out. It's one of the few times I've ever seen column 2 be an out. And if it's supposed to be an automatic hit, somebody let me know. But I'm just going by what's in the book. Second and third, 2 down, and now Ray Burris, the pitcher, is at the plate. 56 is a 35. Second and third, 35, fielding column number 3. And that's a foul out to the first baseman. So Burris is going to pop it up to McCovey, and that's going to end the inning. And the Cubs get 1, but that's all they get. Could have had more, perhaps. But we go to the third. It is 4-1 Giants. Ray Burris trying to hold the fort here. He had a rough first 2 innings. It's going to be Herndon, Hill, and LeMaster due up for the Giants. Off the bases empty chart, and the Cubs fielding column number 2. Top of the third we go. .24, that's a 13, struck him out. So Herndon with the whiff. 1 down from Mark Hill. 54, that's a 32, fielding column number 2. 32 is a fly out to right. Burris does not have a K, so there's no strikeout there. It's just a fly to right. 2 down for Johnny LeMaster. 45 is a 14. That'll be a walk. So a 2-out walk to LeMaster, and that will allow Vida Blue to bat this inning. They'll clear him for the inning so that they can lead off with Madlock next inning if Blue makes an out. You get Blue out of the way and don't have him leading off the next inning. That's pretty important. So Vida Blue, although he did reached on an error by the center fielder Cruz and scored his first time up. So never know what can happen. 12 for Blue is a 25. Fielding column number 2 and a 25 with a runner at first. Says it's a double play, but we're just going to call it a 4-6 fielder's choice because that's the third out. So it's going to be a fielder's choice 4-6 to end the inning. Nothing for the Giants here in the top of the third. Go to the bottom of the third, still 4-1 in favor of the G-men. And the Cubs will lead off at the top of the order in Ivan DeJesus. 55 for DeJesus. That's an 8 against a B-grade pitcher with the bases empty. And 8 is a fly out to center field. So the difference between a B-grade and a D-grade, that's an out. D-grade, that would have been a hit. But instead, it's a fly out. And DeJesus is retired. Manny Trio. 53 is a 19. Bases empty, a 19 on a fielding column 3. Could be interesting. That's going to be an error on the third baseman. So it's an error on Darrell Evans. Each team now with an error. That's an E5. And Manny Trio will reach base. Now runner at first with 1 out. And it's going to bring up Billy Buck. Bill Buckner. Billy Buck. 55, another double. Boy, we're just rolling doubles here. 55 is a 7. 7 against a B-grade pitcher. I don't think it's going to matter. It's going to be a single. Runner goes to third, so Trio will take third. Billy Buck is at first. Runners are at the corners, and that's the benefit of rolling those doubles. Runners at the corners, only 1 out. And that's going to send it to Mr. King Kong Kingman. Doubled his first time up. 45 is a 14. He will walk, I do believe. Let me double check it and make sure. First and third, a 14 with a B-grade pitcher. It's a walk. Doesn't matter about the grade. It's a walk. So Kingman is aboard on a walk, which will load the bases. Cubs all over the place, and Mercer is up with the bases loaded. And 1 out for Bobby Mercer. Infield double play depth. 61 is a 40. High number there. That could be interesting, a 40. Let's see what a 40 shows on fielding column 3. 40 on fielding column 3 says with the infield back, safe at first on an error, runner advances 2 bases. Runners advance 2 bases. So 2 runs will score on an error, and the error is charged to the second baseman, that being Bill Madlock. So Madlock does something to cause Mercer to reach, and Mercer only gets the 1 base according to this, but oh, wait a minute. I got that backwards. C is with the infield in, I think, and D is deep. So D is actually going to be a base on balls. So let me correct myself. Fix my mistake. That's a base on balls. Trio will score. Buckner will stay at third. So the bases are going to remain loaded on the walk to Mercer. It's a bases loaded walk to Mercer. That's the difference between playing the infield in and playing the infield back. So it will be a bases loaded walk. Apologize for the mix-up there, but they're in the chart. It's got a C and a D, but C is with the infield in, D is with them playing deep. So that's going to be a walk, not an error. The bases are still loaded, however, for Steve Ontiveros. Cubs have a run in, cut the lead to 4-2, and they're looking for more with Ontiveros. 44. That's an 8. B-grade pitcher, bases loaded, and an 8. That is a fly out. 1 runner scores, others hold. So it's going to be a sacrifice fly. Buckner will come in on the sac fly to center field. And 2 runs are in now. It's a 4-3 game as the Cubbies close the gap. Bring up Hector Cruz now with first and second and 2 outs. 54. That is a 32. That should do it. Should do it, but we'll double check it. First and second. Fielding column number 3. And a 32. That's a fly out to right field to end the inning. So that's going to do it. Cubbies strike back 2 runs. And at the end of 3 innings of play here at Wrigley Field, it's a typical Wrigley Field game, 4-3, as neither pitcher is actually fooling the other team that much. Blue was one of the all-star pitchers, so I'm not sure. He was 18-10 with a 2.79 ERA. Not sure why he's having so much issues, but he is for whatever reason. And we start at the top of the 4th. It'll be the Mad Dog, Bill Madlock, to lead things off against Burris. 64 is a 13. That's a strikeout. Don't even need the book for that. That's a strikeout. Madlock is out of there. One away. One down, and that's going to send us to Terry Whitfield, left fielder. Terry Whitfield has singled twice. He's 2 for 2. 24 is a 32. That's going to be a fly to right. So out number 2, Whitfield finally retired. And it brings up Mr. Evans. 61 is a 39. Fielding column 2. 39 is a strike. He doesn't have the W, so it's not a base on balls. It's simply strike 1. 22, that's an 8. And against a D-grade pitcher, an 8 is a base hit to center field. Actually, technically to left center field. So Darrell Evans, a 2-out single. 2-out single for Evans. He's aboard. And it'll bring up stretch, Willie McCovey. 13 is a 14, and that's a walk. So all of a sudden, a 2-out rally by the Giants. They put 2 on with 2 outs. And that's going to send up Mr. Jack Clark. So Burris got the first 2 outs pretty easily, but this third out has been proven to be elusive. 14, that's a 30, which is a fly to left to end the inning. So they finally retire the Giants. Get out of the inning with no damage done. We go to the bottom of the 4th, still 4-3. Favor the Cubs, or favor the Giants, rather. Cubs trying to change that. Larry Cox will lead things off. It'll be Cox, then Burris. And then back to the top of the order for DeJesus. So in the book, we go back to the bases empty chart. Fielding column number 3 for the Giants. And Larry Cox, the batter. Grounded to third his first time up. 44, more doubles. That's a 7. That's a base hit for Larry Cox. He's aboard. And that's going to set up Burris for a bunt. Sacrifice bunt. So we go to the sacrifice bunt chart. Sacrifice bunt chart with a runner on first base. And it is Ray Burris, the batter. We get a 15, which is a 23. So in the book, 23 says double play, pop-up bunt, runner doubled off first. Wow. Double play. Double play. Not what they were looking for there. They were looking to advance the runners, but instead they pop into a double play. Unbelievable. Popped it up to the pitcher and then blew through to first and caught Cox off the bases. So that's going to go 1-1-3 double play. 2 down. Top of the order for DeJesus. 62 is a 13, struck him out. So that inning melted away pretty quickly after the botched sacrifice. And that's going to end the inning. We go now to the top of the 5th. Top of the 5th we go. Larry Herndon will be the batter against Ray Burris. Herndon walked and, let's see. Herndon has singled and struck out. 44 more doubles. That's an 8. But it's a B-grade pitcher. 8 and a B-grade pitcher. It's a fly out to center field. So there you go. That's where the B-grade pitcher comes in. Takes that hit away. 1 down. From Mark Hill. 12 is a 25, and this is fielding column number 2. 25 is an out. 4-3 ground out to second base. Would have been a strikeout had he had the X, but he does not. So there's 2 down for Johnny LeMaster. 31 is a 14. That's going to be a base on ball. So a 2-out walk to LeMaster. And again, that will allow the Giants to clear Vida Blue this inning. He will get to bat. And that way they can lead off Madlock next inning, even if Blue makes an out. Not a big deal. 31 is a 14. He might walk anyway. Let's go to runners on first with a 14. I believe that's going to be a walk regardless. There's no modifier for Burris, so he's going to end up walking Vida Blue. Boy, talk about something you don't want to do, and that's walk the opposing pitcher. But that's what he did. So first and second now. And back to the top of the order for Bill Madlock as the Giants are looking to extend the lead. Burris on the ropes. There are 2 outs. Back-to-back base runners for the Giants here in the top of the 5th. Madlock, 61. That's a 36. So we go to runners at first and second, fielding column 2, and a 36. Says it's a pass ball. So it's going to be a pass ball on Cox. And that's going to move the runners up to second and third. Now the Cubbies are really in danger. Second and third now with 2 outs. Madlock still at the plate. 32 is a 26. 26 is going to be a 4-3 ground out to end the inning. So they get out of the inning and don't allow anything, which is shaky, but he did it. And now we go to the bottom of the 5th for Vida Blue back out to face Trio, Buckner, and Kingman. Trio, Buckner, and Kingman start the bottom of the 5th in a 4-3 Giants lead over the Cubbies. 35. 35 is a 36, fielding column 3. 36 is going to be a ball. He doesn't have the W, so there's no walk there. It's just ball 1. Try again. 23 is a 12. 12 on fielding column 3 is a ground out to third base. So 1 down. Darrell Evans throws over to Stretch McCovey for the out. 1 down. Here's Billy Buck. 65 is a 35, and 35 is a ground out to first. Unassisted by Stretch. He makes the play. 1 first baseman retires the other. 2 up, 2 down for King Kong Kingman. 56 is a 34. 34 is a pop out to short unless he has a Y. Blue has the Y, so instead it's a strikeout. So strikeout for Vida Blue since he had the Y quality. Y modifier, and after 5 complete, it's 4-3, favor the Giants. That score has remained. The pitching has somewhat settled down, but never know. Terry Whitfield will lead off the top of the 6th with the bases empty. No, Tabby, no, don't come over here. Tabby's trying to figure out what's going on. I think the shaker thing has gotten her curiosity up, so I'm trying to keep her away. Here's Whitfield. 36 for Whitfield's a 14, and that's a leadoff walk. So yet again, another walk issued by Cubs pitching. That will take us to runner on first. Tabby, no. See, I'm flipping the book, so I can't keep track of Tabby, so let me move her real quick. Don't need a feline delay on the field. All right. So Whitfield walks, and that's going to bring up Darrell Evans. 44. That is a 8 against a D-grade pitcher with a run on first. Single to center. Runner goes to second. So back-to-back base runners, a walk and now a single for Darrell Evans. And now the Cub bullpen starting to move around down there. They do have activity down there. It looks like Boy, who do they got down there? Looks like Mr. Willie, don't call me or Guillermo, don't call me Willie Hernandez is loosely in the bullpen for the Cubbies. Here's my Cubby, the stretch. 61, and that is a 24. Runners at first and second. Fielding column 2, and a 24. 24 says double play. Runner on one runner to third. The other runners are out. So Whitfield makes it to third, but it's going to be a double play. It's going to go 4-6-3. So 2 quick outs as Stretch grounds into a double play. It does move Whitfield to third, but now there are 2 outs. Equitable trade by the Cubs, I'm sure, for Jack Clark. So we go to runner on third only. Much better than having, say, first and second or bases loaded, nobody out. Runner on third, fielding column number 2, Jack Clark against Mr. Burris. 15, that's a 10 for Jack Clark. 10 against a D-grade pitcher is a single to right. Runner scores. Batter steals second on the third pitch. So Clark not only is going to single, but he's going to steal a base. You don't necessarily think of Jack Clark stealing bases, but he did steal 15 bases back in 1978. So he gets the single to drive home the run, and then he steals second base. So that's where the automated steals come in, and that's built into the result of that 10. So single and a stolen base brings up Larry Herndon. Runner now at second after the stolen base. It is a 5-3 game. And Herndon, the batter, still a right-hander up there, so they're going to let Burris keep going. 35, and that is a 13. Struck him out to end the inning. That's going to do it for the Giants, but they do pick up another run and now lead it by the score of 5-3 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Vida Blue back out. We'll be facing Mercer, Ontiveros, and Cruz. Go back to bases empty for this bottom of the 6th. Called him Okie. I guess he's from Oklahoma City, so that's why they call him Okie, I guess. 32 is a 26, fielding column 3. 26 is a ground out 4-3. Second baseman Bill Madlock makes the play. 1 away, and that's going to bring up Steve Ontiveros. 12 is a 25, and that's another 4-3 ground out. X would be a strikeout, but he doesn't have the X. He's got the Y. So it's going to simply be another ground out to second base. Keep Madlock busy over there. 2 down for Hector Cruz. 54, that's a 32. That's a fly to right to end the inning. Vida Blue, a 1-2-3 inning. It's going to do it for the Cubbies. We go to the top of the 7th. And let's see, is Burris going to stay out there? Or now they're actually going to go to the bullpen. They are going to the bullpen. That's going to be it for Mr. Burris. His day is done. Bottom of the order for the Giants, Hill, LeMaster, and Blue. And they're going to go, actually, let's see. Yep, Willie Hernandez. That's who was loosening earlier. So Willie Hernandez is in the game. And we'll check out his factors. He is a C-grade pitcher with a Y and a W. C-grade. Tabby, she did it again. Why she keeps doing that? I guess the shaker must really get her attention or something. I don't know what's going on here. Try to keep her out of there. But anyway, sorry about that delay. All right, so Hernandez facing Mark Hill. 54 is a 32, fielding column number 2. And that is a fly to right field. 1 away. Hill is retired. Brings up LeMaster. And 11. That's a 0. So we're going to second column result for LeMaster. We get a 34, which is a 6. 6 on a C-grade pitcher. It's a double to right center field. So Johnny LeMaster with a 1-out double. And back come the Giants to try to do more damage. Runner now at second base for the pitcher, Vida Blue. So Vida Blue back in to see if he can help his cause. He's only pitched 6 innings. He's pitching very well, so you're not going to take him out. So Vida Blue is up there. Swing away. 20. How about that? He got a double. 22 is a 21. Fielding column number 2. Runner on second base says single to deep first. Runner goes to third. So LeMaster reaches, and it's a base hit from Vida Blue. He's helping his own cause with that base hit. How about that? And Willie Hernandez can't believe it. Brings up Bill Madlock. Runners at the corners. They're going to bring the infield in. They got to choke the runoff. So runners are at first and third, and they're playing the infield in. So I got to check the C results, not the D results in the book. If that comes up, here is Mr. Madlock back to the top of the order. Infield in, 56 is a 27. Fielding column 2, 27. It says here, out at first, runner to second, others hold. But if you have a Y, it's a strikeout. So Willie Hernandez has a Y, so he strikes out Madlock, a huge one. And that's where that modifier comes in as a strikeout Madlock for out number 2. And now it's Terry Whitfield, lefty on lefty. If we were playing the Marino boards or the Master game, Whitfield's a -9 against lefties. But we're going to let him swing away. Infield back to normal now. 26 is a 30. That's a fly to left. And that's going to end the inning. And it would have been a sac fly had there been less than 2 outs, but there were already 2 outs. So fly to left does it. And somehow Willie Hernandez keeps the Giants off the board. Don't know how he did it, but he did it somehow or another. And we go to the bottom of the 7th here at Wrigley. Score still 5-3. Vida Blue is still chugging along. And we'll just keep going. I'm not going to worry about 7th inning stretch. I'm just going to keep going. It's going to be Cox and then a pinch hitter for Willie Hernandez. So Hernandez's day is done. But we do need a pinch hitter for the Cubs. We'll look at their bench. Gene Klein's a righty seems to be the choice. So Gene Klein's will pinch hit after Cox. So it'll be Cox and then Klein's. He will pinch hit for Hernandez, and then they'll have a new pitcher in the top of the 8th inning. Right now it's Larry Cox against Blue. 12 is 25. 25 on the bases empty. Defensive 3, 25 is 4-3 ground out, unless he has an X, which he does not. So it's a ground out to second. 1 away, and now Klein's is up to pinch hit. 258 hitter on the season. 13 is a 14. That'll be a walk. So Gene Klein's a pinch hit walk. Not exactly glamorous, but he gets on base, and that's what you need. You need base runners. So Klein's is aboard. He is a fast runner. See if that helps him or not. There's 1 out and a runner at first now on the pinch hit walk. Back to the top of the order for DeJesus. And 11, that's a 0, so second number. Go to the second number. 14, and that's a 6. Most likely some sort of a double. And it's a fast runner, so he might score on that. So a B-grade pitcher and a 6. Double over first, runner to third, fast runner scores. So since Klein's is fast, he will score. So RBI double for Ivan DeJesus. And back come the Cubbies. They've cut the lead to 5-4. And now the Giant bullpen has to stir around a bit. With Manny Trio coming up, the Giant bullpen has got some activity down there. It looks like, let's see who they've got down there. They've got Randy Moffett is loosening in the bullpen. So Randy Moffett, the right-hander, loosening. But right now here is Trio. And another set of doubles. Boy, how do you like that? So So Trio with a 44, that's an 8. He's a B-grade pitcher with a runner at second base. And an 8, that is out at first, runner to third. So DeJesus will go to third. Now we're now 2 outs. And that's going to send us to Billy Buckner. Runner at third, 2 down for Buckner. 35, and that is an 8. But again, a B-grade pitcher with an 8, runner on third base. B-grade pitcher is a fly out to right to end the inning. So just the 1 run is all they get. But it does cut the lead to 5-4. So we got a 5-4 ball game as we go to the 8th inning here at Wrigley. And let's see who's coming in. We said it was going to be. We didn't say it was going to be because Moffitt was warming up for the Giants, but they don't need him right at the moment. Instead, they will go to Donnie Moore. So Donnie Moore comes in to pitch for the Cubbies. And he'll be facing Evans, McCovey, and Clark. They'd already used Hernandez, a lefty, and Roberts is not that great of a lefty, so they're going to stick with Donnie Moore, although he's not necessarily all that great this particular season either. He's a C-grade pitcher as a reliever, D-grade as a starter. He does have the Z quality. Let's see if that helps him or not. Since we're playing basic, lefty-righty doesn't matter, so you can bring in a righty without consequence. 31 is a 14. That's a consequence. That's a walk. So yet another walk, and that seems to be the theme of the game, is all these walks issued by Cub pitching. So Evans is at first with nobody out for stretch Willie McCovey. 52, that's a 27, fielding column 2, 27. And that is batter safe at first, fielder's choice. You have an X, it's a strikeout, but it's going to be a fielder's choice. So Evans is out. McCovey will reach on the fielder's choice for out number 1. And the result is, according to this, a 5-4 fielder's choice. Ontiveros to Trio. So 1 out, McCovey, the new runner at first base for Jack Clark. 54, and that is a 32, which is a fly out to right field, out number 2. And now Larry Herndon, the batter. 23, that's a 12. A 12, fielding column 2, would be a double play, but there are already 2 outs, so it's going to be a fielder's choice, 6-4, we'll call it. And that will end the inning. So a 6-4 fielder's choice ends the frame. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Now, do you bring back Vida Blue, or do you bring in, they're going to bring in Randy Moffitt. They're going to go ahead and make the move and bring in Randy Moffitt. So Moffitt is on. He did have 12 saves on the season. Moffitt is on. Will there be a double switch? Let's see. They may very well want to do a double switch. Perhaps for McCovey. Maybe put a better first baseman out there. Mike Ivy can play first base. So let's see if they want to do that. Mike Ivy might be going into first base, and he is. He's a 4 instead of a 2. That was McCovey. So by bringing him in, that bumps them up to a 37. So they are now fielding column 2, are the Giants, as Mike Ivy. So Ivy is going to come in and play first base. Mike Ivy. And the pitcher spot now for McCovey. So Moffitt takes over as the pitcher, but that way they clear him and not have to pinch hit for him later on. So coming out of the game is McCovey, and batting in the number 9 position is Mike Ivy. So McCovey out, Ivy in as the new first baseman. He is a 4, which bumps them up, like I said, to a fielding column 2 now. So both teams fielding column 2. And McCovey's out with the pitcher in there. Moffitt. Moffitt is a B-grade pitcher with a Y and a Z. Same exact factors that Vida Blue had. All right, bottom of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th we go. Kingman will lead it off. For the Cubbies, it'll be Kingman, Mercer, and Ontiveros. Still 5-4 ball game. Moffitt trying to hold it down. 21 for Kingman is a 13. Is going to strike him out. One down for Kong. Here's Bobby Mercer. 53 is a 17, fielding column 2. That is a fly out to right field. Had they been, I'm sorry, that was run on first. Let me go to bases empty. Got to make sure I'm on the right chart. 17 is a single to right field. So, but had they been fielding column 3, it would have been a single plus an error. So making that double switch saved them an error. So good managing there by the manager. Mercer does get the single, though. Can't avoid that. He does get the single. And that'll send up Steve Ontiveros. 42 is a 13. That's a strikeout, out number 2. Moffitt trying to get out of the inning. And now he's got to deal with Cruz. But Cruz may not bat here. He's a 227 hitter. They're going to take him out and bring in a better hitter for the Cubbies. And that better hitter is going to be Greg Gross. So Greg Gross will come in and he'll stay in the game to play center field. And defensively, he is a 2, which is better than Cruz, who was a 1. So that bumps him to a 39. They're still fielding column 2, but they want the better hitter out there. So Gross now pinch hitting for Cruz, and he will stay in the game to play center field. 2 outs. Gross, 42, 32. That is a fly to right field to end the inning. So failed in the clutch there did Mr. Gross. He's out of there, and so are the Cubbies in the 8th. We go to the 9th. Still a 5-4 ball game. And let's see what the Cubs want to do. Do they want to keep Donnie Moore in there, or do they want to bring in somebody else? We'll have to see what they want to do here. Mark Hill, LeMaster, and Ivy are the scheduled hitters, all right-handed. You know what? They're going to bring in Bruce Sutter to try to keep it really close. If we're doing a season replay, I probably wouldn't do this because you wouldn't want to use your closer necessarily when you're behind because you want to keep him fresh for other games. But in this case, we're going to bring in Bruce Sutter. Not totally out of the question, I don't think. Bruce Sutter is a B-grade pitcher with a X, Y, and a Z. So we got all kind of stuff going on there. For Mark Hill. Top of the 9th, 5-4 Giants. 55, that's an 8. B-grade pitcher, though. 8 and a B-grade pitcher is going to be a fly to center. Had we left Moore in there as a C-grade pitcher, that would have been a single. So there you go, more good managing. Takes care of that. One down for Johnny LeMaster. And I am saying this tongue-in-cheek about great managing. 24 is a 29, fielding column 2 now, 29. 29 is going to be a put-out, pitcher to first, unless he has an X, which he does, so it's a strikeout. LeMaster down on strikes, 2 down. And that brings up Mike Ivy for his first at-bat with the double switch. Poison Ivy, as they call him. 24, he wasn't poison there, he struck out, so... Bruce Sutter, a 1-2-3 ninth inning, took care of business. TCB in on that one. And we go to the bottom of the 9th, last chance for the for the Cubs, rather. And we have to see how they want to play this. Klein's has already been used. So let's see, we got Cox, a pinch hitter, and then DeJesus. Cox, 281 hitter. You're not going to pinch hit for him, I don't believe. Moffitt's going to stay in there and try to get the 2-inning save, which was not uncommon in 1978. So it's going to be Cox and a pinch hitter, and picking up a bat for the Cubs will be Larry Bittner. He will pinch hit for the pitcher. He will pinch hit for Mr. Sutter. First things first, though, it's Larry Cox. 15, that's an 8. B-grade pitcher, though, is going to take care of that. B-grade pitcher in an 8, just to fly to center, 1 away. So Cox is retired. And now that brings up the pinch hitter the aforementioned Larry Bittner. Larry Bittner, 257 hitter, 4 homers. 14, though, is a fly to left. 30, which is a fly to left. That's universal. So 2 down, and now it's all up to Ivan DeJesus to keep the ball game going against Moffitt. 16 is a 28. Fielding column 2, a 28. 28 is out at first, short to first. That's the ball game. As LeMaster goes to Ivy to end the ball game. Giants win it by the score of 5-4 in a tightly contested ball game. Entertaining ball game. I haven't played APBA in a while. It was actually a pretty entertaining game. It's not my favorite game in the world, but it was, it was enjoyable, I thought. At least for me, anyway. I don't know about anybody else, but anyway, let's do the totals. Let's see. For the Giants, how many hits do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I had him for 11 hits unofficially. And how many left on base? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I got him for 12 left on base. And we'll go to the Cubs. How many hits do they have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I only got him for 6 hits. Left on base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got him for 6 left on. These are all unofficial. Off of a somewhat messy score sheet, but I've got them unofficially. The Giants defeating the Cubs here on May 7th, 1978 by the score of 5-4. Winning pitcher was Vida Blue. Losing pitcher Ray Burris, and Randy Moffitt goes 2 innings to get the save. And if I had to pick a player of the game for the Giants, could pick Darrell Evans. He reached base 4 out of 5 times. He singled 3 times and walked. Scored a run. So that's, you could look that way. Only home run in the game belonged. Let's see. Was there a home run in the game? There wasn't a home run. I thought there was a home run in the game. It must have been the other game I played. So no homers in the game. Only extra base hits were doubles. One by Kingman. He had a double. And let's see who else doubled. That might have been. And LeMaster hit a double. So only 2 doubles. All these other hits were singles. So out of the 17 hits, 15 were singles, 2 were doubles. No triples, no home runs. I'm sorry, 3 doubles because DeJesus had a double. So 3 doubles and 14 singles in the game. Total of 18 runners left on base. 5-4, your final. The perhaps dud of the game, if you want to call it that, could be, let's see, they may go like 0 for 5. Let's see. Yeah, McCovey in the pitcher spot. Well, McCovey did. He went 0 for 5, it looks like. And Cox went 0 for 4, so several 0-fers there. But anyway, the Giants win it by the score of 5-4. That is APBA for you on this one-off Wednesday. Next week, it's going to be Pine Tar baseball, and I'm going to play. Only season I have is 1982, so I decided to play Game 1 of the 1982 ALCS between the California Angels and the Milwaukee Brewers. So I'll be playing that game on Pine Tar baseball next Wednesday for the one-off Wednesday. So hope you enjoyed that presentation of APBA Basic, the Giants and the Cubs. Hope I didn't screw too many things up on that. It was a little bit tedious having to flip the book while doing a recording and everything. It's much easier when I'm playing offline, but whatever, we got it done. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, how you choose to play it. And as usual, I will see you all down the road.